Hello, beautiful. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. This is Monday morning here, and welcome to Mondays with Mori. I'm so honored that you are here and sharing some energy with me. So I want to tell you a story about overcoming fear, a personal story of mine. And I hope that by sharing this story with you, it will help you bring some awareness to your life and share some light to places that maybe you're holding back because of fear. So one of the things I really wanted for my birthday, I just turned 40 last few weeks ago, and I always wanted to learn how to ski. I always wanted to learn how to snowboard, and I did it one or two times before, but I didn't really get into it, and time shifted and moved. And so one of the things I really wanted to for my birthday was to go skiing. And so I got together with some girlfriends, and they surprised me with a trip to do some cross country skiing. Now, some of you might know, but last year I went ice skating with my kids, and I fell and I broke my arm really bad. So I was out of commission for 6 weeks. I couldn't drive, I couldn't cook, I couldn't take care of my kids. I couldn't even pull my pants up after the bathroom. So it was very traumatic for my body, and it was also a very stuck situation in my life because I couldn't really do anything. I really had to rely on other people, and I had to ask for help, and I wasn't really good at that. So I realized that was a lesson I had to go through. So as we get ready, we went early in the morning on Saturday. We got our gear. As we get up on the mountain, put the skis on our feet, and my body, and we start walking on the snow, my whole body started shaking and jittering, and all the fears from my fall came up. All my fears from that experience was so alive in my body, and I was so aware of it, and I realized it was numbing me. All these thoughts were like, I can't do this. There's no way I'm going to do this. There's no way I'm going to succeed doing this. I have to get off the ice right away. My body was freaking out. And here I am. I convinced all these people to go skiing with me. And yet I'm just wanting to turn around, back around, and leave. I do not want to be here. I don't want to do this. And so in my head, I had to overcome it. So I don't know if you've ever done skiing, but you're there's a little flat, but it's mostly, you're going a little bit uphill, and then there's a downhill. So here we are, and we're kind of climbing a little bit up this hill, and we reach to the point where now we're going to go down. And when I realized that I'm going to have to go down this little hill, my mind is like, no way, this is not happening. I'm going to fall down. I'm going to break my leg. I'm going to be again dependent on people. And not just that, not just the thoughts that were going through my head, but my body was freaking out. My body was shaking. It was shaky. My heartbeat was pumping really hard. I was breathing heavily, like physically, my body was really living and reliving the trauma. And so I was like, okay, everybody was going for it. And I was like, it was my turn to go down this hill. And I was new, it's now or never. And it wasn't really a hill. Okay, let's be honest. It was just really tiny slope. But when you're on skis, it feels really fast. So here I am, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I go down, and I fall down. I fall on my butt. I get all wet, I get all icy, and let me tell you, getting up with skis is very difficult. But I get up, and I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's going to be fine. I didn't break anything, just fell on my butt. I got a little wet. I can handle this. So we keep going. And I'm telling myself, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Now, one of the things that my friend was telling me is like, don't worry. On the end of the hill, you kind of stop by yourself because it evens out. And so there's a momentum, and then it slows down, and you'll be okay. And tuning into the energy of that, I was like, okay, if it just slows down by itself and I don't have to control how slow I go and how to stop it, then I could just let go of the fear. And so as we're climbing up, we get to a bigger hill. And I look down and I tell myself, okay, I don't have to control the outcome. All I know is it's going to happen. All I know is it's going to slow down. I had to talk myself out of it. I released the control, and I let go. And it was the most freeing experience ever. even though there was still a tiny bit of fear as I was going down that was trying to creep up energetically. Like I could feel it, like, oh my gosh, what if I fall? Oh my gosh, how will I stop? I just had to overcome it by telling myself, it's going to be okay. I'm going to slow down. Just enjoy the ride. Even though there's a thrill, enjoy the ride. And so as I was doing that, and the more I was doing it, the better I got, and the higher the hills, the more incline on the slope, I felt more and more comfortable, and my body got more and more used to it. And every time I got better and better, until it has become one of the best experiences that I've ever had. And so the thing is that as we come down from the mountain, we open our phones and we see all these messages about what's going on in Israel. And as you know, I have so much family, so much friends in Israel. And this was a huge attack on Israel, what happened. And there was so much fear in the air. There was so much fear in the car. There was so much worry and stress. And what I realized is that when we feel out of control, that's when fear is at its highest. Okay? And when we feel out of control is because we feel like we don't know what to do about a situation. We don't know how to help. We don't know where to go. We don't know what tools to use. We get struck by the fear and we get numb. And we let the fear take over us, take over our power. And the fear does it very easily, especially if it's something you've dealt with before, especially if it's a trauma, if it's a trauma response where it's a PTSD, where your body already knows what it feels like, right? So a lot of times if you live in a war zone, if you hear a lot of bomb alarms go off, sirens going off, bombs going off in a distance, your body kind of gets routed up by it. You get PTSD from it. So then when it happens again, it brings that back up, right? Just like happened to me when I fell. My body remembered the fall. My body felt what it felt like and it got scared. Okay? The fear is in the body. The trauma is in the body. Okay, so how do we shift and change that? Well, we have to teach the body something new. We have to teach the body something different. And we have to give the body tools to navigate that fear. We have to give the body tools to shift from where it's at to where you want to be. And the best way to do it is to focus on something that can take you out of that fear. So for me, when I was going down this hill and my body was freaking out, it was breathing. It was telling myself in my head, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It was envisioning what it would look like to be on the bottom and slowing down. So many times we're just focusing on the right now. This is happening right now. I'm freaking out. What am I going to do? What if you could breathe, lower your heart rate, lower your breath, and then focus on something that you can control. So what can you control? You know, Iran is bombing you. Iran is sending all these bombs to bomb you, to destroy you. What can you control? What can you do? You can create energetical protections. You can breathe. You can pray. You can focus on your loved ones. You can play games. What I love about people of Israel is that we have this desire to live and we celebrate life. And so even the day after, I shared a video of people dancing in the streets, showing that life is the highest, most valuable commodity in this world. Our life is so short. It's such a small window. How are you going to live your life? How are you going to let fear stop you? How are you going to let controlling the fear stop you? What can you do to shift and change that? I want to invite you next week on 22nd of April. I'm teaching a class. It's a 5-day masterclass called Exodus. It is following the story of Israel leaving Egypt, but the essence of this class is really leaving your jailers behind, your blocks, your fears, your limitations, giving you tools to transform all of those limitations into power, giving you the tools to show you where you can step out of the fear and into your power. This is going to be a 5-day masterclass. If you register, you will get all the recordings, but it's really going to be a journey. It's going to be a process. So if you feel like you're a lot of times stuck in fear, if you feel that there's a lot of limiting beliefs holding you back, if you feel like your mind is the one in control or your body and not you, like if you want to do something, but you get way too stressed out, you don't feel confident, if you find yourself stuck in the same cycles that keeping you stuck around the same kind of people, dealing with the same energies, dealing with a lot of drama. Maybe there's something in your life that's not working quite as well and you don't know why. We're going to just clear. We're going to clear that path. We're going to get rid of all those limitations, all those fears, and create a new path for you to get to the promised land that is you. Because to me, you being in a body that feels safe, being in a body that feels comfort, feeling in the body that feels like home, being in a body that feels like your land, that is their greatest gift. And from that place, you can only shine brighter and bigger and create more ease and space in your life for you, for your loved ones, and for the world. So thank you so much for being here with me. I wish you, from the bottom of my heart, the most beautiful week. Play with the tools I shared with you. Let me know what worked for you. If this was a contribution, please share. I would love to hear from you. And I hope you have the most beautiful day. And if you want to join me on this magical journey, there's links in my bio. You can go check it out. It's called Exodus. It's the 5-day masterclass, and I can't wait to play with you there. Have a wonderful week, guys. Bye.